Hello and welcome to the channel. We're going to be covering a wide range of voice exercises in this channel, but before we begin, I wanted to offer up a brief introduction to the voice work. An introduction that might give you a slightly different way of thinking about voice training itself. That might offer some guidance throughout these exercises. They'll serve as a touchstone that you can return to throughout these exercises. So I'm going to give a little quote from Freeing the Natural Voice by Kristen Linklater to get us started, and then we'll talk about it real quickly. So here's the quote. The basic assumption of the work is that everyone possesses a voice capable of expressing through a 2 to 4 octave natural pitch range, whatever gamut of emotion, complexity of mood, and subtlety of thought he or she experiences. The second assumption is that the tensions acquired through living in this world, as well as defenses, inhibitions, and negative reactions to environmental influences, often diminish the efficiency of the natural voice to the point of distorted communication. Hence, the emphasis here is on the removal of the blocks that inhibit the human instrument as distinct from, but not excluding, the development of a skillful musical instrument. All right, that's a pretty dense quote. There's a lot contained within there. So I think the two key points that we can draw from that, first off, rather than thinking of voice training as something that we do, something that we practice so that we can acquire use of our voice, that you're starting from a point of diminished capacity and you need to strengthen your voice to better use it, that instead we're all born with a natural capacity for emotional expression and the expression of complex thought. So that right out of the gate is number one. You're born with the ability to communicate freely. And number two is the only thing inhibiting your ability to freely communicate are the physical, mental, and emotional blocks that we all naturally acquire through day-to-day living. Now, these blocks may be acquired through traumatic experiences, just general defense mechanisms, your environment growing up. There's a whole host of reasons how and why we develop these blocks, and we can perhaps go in depth into that in another video, but suffice it to say for now, we all carry physical tension in our bodies that, if addressed and removed, will allow the natural voice to come through. So that is the key emphasis of the work here. That instead of simply thinking of the voice as a muscle that needs to be mastered and controlled, we're instead thinking of the work in terms of undoing the physical blocks that are preventing that voice from coming through. And although, yes, the incidental or secondary effect of the work perhaps will be a better understanding of your vocal instrument and a more dynamic usage of your voice, that the key emphasis is on the removal of these blocks. So, with those two basic assumptions in mind, let's get started.